We are here. It is the end of a saga, kind of. I don't know. A book of Boba Fett was released and finished, and we're here to talk about it.
Is it a spoiler show?
Yeah, this
It's
is
a spoiler. We're spoiling every freaking thing.
Oh yeah, hold on.
Just so you know, Boba Fett was in this episode.
Yeah, just so you
Spoiler,
know,
yeah.
just in case.
Just in case. Nice. You know what? I don't have a Rancor, but I have the Rancor gate.
Oh, there you go.
I found
That's a start.
found that at Bricks and Minifigs in the big bin.
I pulled this palace set out today. With the
Nice.
gate.
There you go. I got one of those gates.
I don't know why this thing sits like.
Yeah, it's
There's
stupid.
nothing up here.
It's yeah.
Nothing down here. Got to make your own like bigger Rancor area.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this is the set back in the day with Jabba and Slave Leia and the other.
You know, I had just noticed that I just finished watching it for the second time. In the production artwork with the Rancor monster, he's like holding a green Twi'lek person.
Yeah, I saw that.
I'm like, that's a great callback to the time he ate the dancer. That's just rude. What was she? What did she do wrong? Nothing. Jabba was an ass.
That and the Gamorrean guards.
Was that in the comics?
They kind of had a fatal
I
end
don't think so.
that was tragic for pigs not being able to fly today.
Didn't even think of that.
I can't believe I missed the pigs can fly joke. Oh my gosh, good one, Jesse. Yeah, that whole thing. I'm like, you know what? Gamorrean guards suck. They suck. They're awful.
Yeah.
They can't really.
I don't know why he was like going to promise to put him in back to Bath. I was like, we'll put the Gamorrean guard in the back to Bath. I was like,
No, Kirstan. He said that to Kirstan
Yeah, he did.
when he got
what
wounded.
did he call him? What was his nickname?
I don't know.
Oh shoot!
I missed that.
I took like notes. I took notes on this show. I didn't want to let Jesse down.
Oh, the
But
Black
yeah,
Panther?
he
he was going to get. I mean, he needed it.
yeah.
I was afraid they were going to kill him off right there, but no. Thankfully, he survived.
Later on, we're going to talk about blaster fire and its effects in the Star Wars universe.
Blaster
Right?
Okay.
That was what a bunch of crap. If Doc was here, he would totally agree with this theory of mine. Oh my gosh! It's like the bad guys die with one, blaster bolt, but Chrysanthemum and other people, not so much. How many can you take, and what is the effect of a blaster bolt? Is it like a bullet?
right.
I don't know.
Maybe we'll get a little more deep into it because they've got Cobb Vanth in the back to tank here at the end credit scene, and apparently it was
that's
not
for Willie,
enough.
because Willie didn't understand what was going on at the end.
It's not enough because he got hit in the shoulder, so maybe he's going to get a bionicle arm.
That's what I'm guessing. He's gonna get a mod arm, but yeah, that was not who I expected to be in the tank. And we'll talk about who I thought was going to be in the tank later. But anyway,
well, what kind of shirt are you wearing there, Larry?
I got my Van Grogu shirt on. My Van Gogh group. I don't know how.
Nice. You guys will have to help me with my shirt. I got it for Christmas, so I'm not sure.
What do you got?
It's the Mandalorian, but is it Boba Fett?
That's Boba Fett. Did you get that from China? Tijuana? Where'd you get that? That's
on there. Is it Cobb Vanth? Because he's got like the scarf, right?
Yeah.
Oh, it is Cobb Vanth. Yep.
But
It's
did Cobb Vanth have the jetpack?
No.
Yeah, he did.
Did he?
Yeah, he had everything.
He had the jetpack too.
Huh. Yeah, we'll talk about the jetpack later too.
So I thought it was weird that I got a shirt.
I was like,
found
on that one.
And I was like, wait a minute, no, it's Cobb Vanth. That's kind of a weird shirt. And why doesn't and it doesn't say Cobb Vanth, it says The Mandalorian, but that's where he appeared, right? Or yeah. Because it was before Boba Fett, too. So
I'm pretty sure you got that shirt in, like, Tijuana.
Anyway, I'm in the tribe of all Star Wars is good Star Wars. So
yeah,
I'm wearing my Mandalorian shirt today. It's not a joke because, you know, Mandalorian had his own episode or two in the Boba Fett show. Grogu had his own episode pretty much, and today we're going to talk about the finale, which I knew it wasn't going to live up to episode 5 and 6.
How could it? I mean, they couldn't crescendo it any further than that unless they brought in, I don't know, Princess Leia or Han Solo. I mean, come on. I mean, it was tough. And they didn't have any, they had like 2 seconds of Boba Fett in the last 2 episodes prior to this. So, yeah, what are you going to do?
So now that we have all the chapters behind us, it's good to talk about it. And, you know, I was going in maybe with high hopes because 5 and 6 were so good. And watching it the first time, so I watched it twice today. Watching it the first time was not really happy watching it, but watching this the second time, I was taking notes, and I knew what I was in for. So I actually think I enjoyed it the second time more.
I'm with you. I really am. I did the exact same thing as you did. There was a whole lot. There was a big chunk of the episode that was the street fighting, and it took up a huge chunk of it that I.
Yeah, we got a full hour, 61 minutes. For the show. So
I didn't even realize. I just plugged
it kept
in.
going and going, and they're like having dialogue in between 1,000 blaster fires.
Right.
And
overall, you know, I thought it was a good episode. If the last 2 episodes were a 10 out of 10, I'd give this like an 8, maybe a 7.5.
What do you think, Troy?
I'm pretty much for the most part with you guys. I think we were all thinking that the Pike Syndicate was going to be a much larger. It was going to be a much larger battle than it actually was.
Yeah,
I think, you know, what we got was kind of just like you said, a street brawl. More or less, you know, more or less than a war. You know what they were trying to build it up to, but
this was like,
I don't know. It had some really
like West Side Story, the 3rd version.
Yeah, I mean, and towards the end, it had some really fun moments. You know.
Oh yeah, so
like
I know it had some fun moments. It seemed a little grounded for me because along the way, you know, they show us some of the ships, and they gave us a new ship, and acquiring the fire spray was a big part of Boba Fett's storyline. So I thought that could have been salvageable. That he could have came in with the ship maybe in this final episode instead of taking out that Nikto biker gang.
Just real quick, let's go back. So who directed who directed episodes 5 and 6? I think, wasn't 5 Bryce Dallas Howard?
Yeah.
And then who did 6? Was it Robert Rodriguez? Because he did this one.
This was the Luke one. That was the Luke and Ahsoka. I think that was probably Filoni mostly, or does he direct? Yeah, right?
I hope so. I mean,
that was kind of the Filoni episode because we got Ahsoka more, we got Grogu more, we got we got Cad Bane, right?
Keyboard it, Troy. Find out who's doing it.
But Robert Rodriguez.
Yeah, so Robert Rodriguez did this one, who I was like, okay, I know that he does some voices. He does the mayor, and he does the. He also does the voice of the main Trandoshan family guy, the head of the Trandoshan mob. But yeah, I was. I mean, I want to like it more,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna give it a very generous 8. Because there were some significant significant plot holes and some significant just awful exposition that I don't like. I don't
get it. Like, if they're going to treat Boba Fett as this Godfather character, I really needed him to maybe sit back even more and just be on the chair saying, go take them out. Go take them out. And he was a lot of the times being in the front and saying, let's not kill him,
Yeah.
Well, I think he had to, at the same time, though, show his face and know that, and tell, and show the people of Mos Espa that he means business and that he's serious about taking over the Empire, and so.
Yeah.
So what I basically, the way I sum up this whole season is, I directly compare it to the first season of The Mandalorian, because I felt like with The Mandalorian compared to season 2 of The Mandalorian, it was very grounded. So I feel like this one is trying to follow the same formula more or less. It was his comeback season, basically, to reintroduce him into the world. So yeah, of course it's going to be a little bit grounded.
I'm really on board with you with that, Troy. I mean, I think I think almost every show you pick on Netflix or Amazon or Hulu or whatever, it takes until the second season to really gain their footing.
Right.
So I think the folks at Disney, Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, did their best to inject a lot of the Mandalorian and Luke Skywalker and Grogu to really amp up the excitement for Boba Fett, and I'm looking forward to season 2. But I think you're right. They didn't have a lot of time. I mean, they only did 7 episodes, and 7 episodes of a season is not a lot. So
no. That's almost like a miniseries.
Oh yeah.
Almost like a miniseries, more or less.
Yeah. Think about like when they do a miniseries in a comic book. Same thing. You have just not enough to do it, because when we think of TV shows and how long it takes to do a season, we're used to 30 episodes.
Whoop. Sorry.
Hey, Jesse, your droid's talking to you.
I know, right? So Chapter 5 was directed by Bryce Dallas Howard.
Okay.
Episode 6 was Dave Filoni.
Perfect. Okay.
And then Robert Rodriguez did this one, the last one. So you were right.
So I want to like Robert Rodriguez a lot more, but he let me down a little bit on this one. There wasn't a whole lot. There was a lot of eye candy, but not a lot of substance. Unlike the last episode, which was all substance.
Yeah. All right. Well, we broke it down a little bit. Some of the cool substance was, let's say a couple people were watching. Radfa likes the
Radfa the Rascal. Yes. Welcome, Radfa. We've not met yet, and I agree that is a really cool Jedi power. I know we saw a little bit of that in Rise of Skywalker. Not necessarily exactly the same thing, but when she healed the snake thing, there's some lore behind the Jedi power and other
Obi-Wan had a lot of animal instinct, like the creatures he's mounted for travel too.
You said creatures he mounted.
By the way, we get a release date for Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I know, right? That's cool.
May 24th, not quite May the 4th, but it is going to be May this summer, early summer. late spring.
Nice. So we'll hopefully we're gonna get Moon Knight in between that. So we'll at least have some stuff to watch, because now what am I gonna do on Wednesday mornings at 5 a.m. when I want to wake up early to watch Star Wars?
What are we gonna do? I don't know. I'm watching all kinds of stuff. Kind of into all the D&D stuff right now. Vox Machina. Vox Machina is
Vox
pretty
Machina.
good.
We can talk that.
And
good show.
Stuff like that. I'm kind of putting into my queue and listening along to some stories and stuff. So storytelling, man, it's a big deal. So let's talk about this story. It is named in the name of honor. So it is a lot about if you choose to do the right thing, you're gonna survive with some honor. So right away in the beginning of the episode, let's see if I got my thing here. They're in the ruins of the sanctuary. R.I.P. Garza Fwip.
I am so upset they did not give any kind of tribute to Jennifer Beal. or explain Max Rebo. That guy is a slippery blue keyboardist.
And they're in this sanctuary, this old cantina casino, for quite a while. And I mean, it's a lot of charred stuff, but yeah, there could have been something calling back to her, or the band. Anyway, I think Mando stole the opening scene again. Boba Fett and Fennec are in and get a few lines of dialogue, and then he's like, doo-doo, here comes Mando. And he gets the silhouette shot, and they turn around, and he's just like, yeah, I think I got the Freetown people on our side. But he's kind of stealing this series. Most of the good things are revolving around his character. The mod squad is there too. They're off to the side. I don't know if I have a shot of that, but they are there, and they're the ones that speak up and say they want to stay there as far as what the plan is moving forward. Boba Fett wanted to go back to the palace and fight off the Pike Syndicate, which I think would have been a better idea, actually. What do you guys think?
I agree. Yeah. I don't know. There were some plot holes to that. How far away is his palace from Mos Espa? That's my question.
Yeah, I thought of that too, but maybe he had it on standby just in case.
Well, see, that's the thing. They did a lot of exposition to. I mean, they actually described that the astromech was flying the X-wing. They took the time to have dialogue to explain that no, Grogu didn't fly an X-wing. They took time to explain where each one of the groups of their forces were stationed to scout out what's going on. You know, Black Chrysanthemum was here, and the Marine Guards were here, and the Mod Squad was here. Yet they didn't explain
that part of the plan. I liked. You know, they have
that
these
reminded me of there was something about that reminded me of Kill Bill in their little exposition montage, and I'm trying to remember what
we
part
just need
of
that Kill Bill music. Ding, ding, ding. That would have livened it up.
Right.
Then show Black Chrysanthemum like.
Well, if they would have explained the Rancor, then
yes,
it would have.
thank you. That's what I'm talking about.
Then it wouldn't have been a surprise, though. That was the whole point of it. Is him coming in,
Boba Fett said, you know what? I've got something on the side. I've got something I don't know if I'll need to use it, but I've got a plan.
Yeah.
I've got a second backup plan.
Well,
But
when
no,
he said,
if he has to go back to his palace and get a Rancor monster, bring him to Mos Eisley for the battle, that's going to take some time. It's not going to take 5 minutes. It's going to take a couple hours.
yeah,
So that was a little bit of a I'm not buying it kind of a thing. If you'll notice, also, he launches his rocket out of his jetpack, then leaves, then comes back. He's got a new rocket,
Yeah.
and he's got his Tusken Raider
gaffy stick.
beatdown stick.
Yeah, I was
So-
wondering when that appeared.
Did he have that when he went down on the ground? Because I don't even remember him. So that was a plot hole that I noticed, is that he was down on the ground, and then all of a sudden he had his gaffy stick.
Yep, that was a
So
total.
I didn't understand that.
Yeah.
Well, it was
I don't
cheating.
know how much of this stuff they play around with as far as the plot. I think they can mess around with dialogue, but something like that should have been.
See, I just can't believe that these guys aren't more aware of the internet and nerds like us that are going
Yeah.
to. And we're not even the worst. I mean, there
They
are
might
some
have people
diehard
help.
Star Wars people.
Well,
that are like,
that was a very obvious thing. Is like he
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
have his gaffy stick with him, and then all of a sudden, when he's on the ground and about to get killed, he has it. I mean,
Right. yeah,
a kid could probably notice that. He's like, "Oh, where'd he get his gaffy stick?" Or like, "Oh yeah, Dave Filoni just plopped it onto the figure that they were playing around with when they were trying to figure out this episode." That's what I felt like. The whole episode was just them playing with old Kenner toys from the 80s.
Collection.
Can you? Let's see. I'm gonna try and share a screen. Do I have authorization?
Let's see.
That's why I said it was a fun
Add it?
episode.
There we
It's
go.
it's just fun.
Okay, so here is prior to him going away, before he fires his first rocket. So you can see the little tip right there. He's got his rocket, and he shoots it off at the
Well, the gaffy stick, yeah.
really cool new droids.
But he could have brought that back with the Rancor, right? 'Cause that
Well,
was
that's
the
what I'm thinking.
plan.
He went. Let's see.
He ammoed up after the Rancor.
He did ammo up.
I didn't
He
like the
not only did he
language,
go back
too.
to get the Rancor, but he got. Oh, jeez.
When he said he went back to get reinforcements, I think it would have been cooler to say.
Okay, so
I've
here
got a
he is with
secret
his
weapon.
empty rocket. He's got his empty rocket. And then but this is before the Rancor, so when does he fly off? Not sure if I'm showing too much or not. Oh,
I think you're okay as long as you don't play it.
right.
That's straight from Disney Plus.
So he comes back. So this is the first appearance of the Rancor.
Mm-hmm.
And when he
Yeah.
comes back,
Does he have it there? That's
oh come on,
the shot.
there's the shot right there. All
Yeah,
right,
Oh,
so
he does have it.
so he's got
Oh,
he's got his gaffy stick and his rocket
Okay.
when he
So
comes
he does
back.
have it.
So yeah, he armored up. He totally armored up.
I think that's fine. You guys are, but it did seem a bit of a surprise when it showed up.
Mm-hmm.
Let's dissect this thing a little bit further into the episode. From my perspective here, I've got Cad Bane going to tell the Pike leader and the mayor, Makshiaz, and I don't know if the other bads are in the room, but this is like their little hideout.
Right. Well, he's got all the family heads. He's got the Trandoshans and the other guys, because they're all still there at the end. Or wait a minute, no.
At the end of that,
It doesn't look like
show
they're
more.
in this scene, but by the end, they're all there, cowering together.
Yeah, so they're coming up with the plan still here, wondering whether the freedom fighters from previously known as Los Peglos is going to come to town, and Cad Bane's pretty sure he shook them off.
Mm-hmm.
So that was cool. Let's see. So we got to talk about this scene next. If you guys don't have any comments about that Pike plan. We got the X-Wing coming into town. I was pretty sure. I was really surprised. I mean, I was expecting to see a starfight actually in this episode. So for me,
I kind of was too,
I
and
wanted to
a little
see
disappointed
the
that we didn't
Slave
get it.
One. I wanted to see the Naboo starfighter, and now we got an X-Wing. I was like, we're gonna be battling, cockpits.
We don't have just an X-Wing. We've got Luke's X-Wing.
Right.
That's a good point. They could have mixed it up with some starfighting. That's for sure.
Right. We've missed that. We haven't had a lot of that. When was the
That
last
would
time
have
we
made
had...
it more. That would have made it more of a war, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah. So I was expecting that war, and this was a big part of it. But when they land at Kelly Moto's hangar, all the droids are hanging out with her, and whoop, you get that guy.
Eric Foster's
There he
not in that episode.
I kind of went straight to Grogu.
There he is. There's Grogu.
We get Grogu in the cockpit. I guess R2 flew him there, and they have.
I love how what's her name talks back to R2 and calls him Domehead. You won't get a lot of people talking back to R2 outside of C-3PO.
Right.
Which, by the way, we may need to have a C-3PO cameo in the near future. I can't stand him, but he's kind of a staple. I mean, I one of my favorite Star Wars characters is R2-D2.
Yeah.
I mean, he's like the fate of the universe is pretty much on R2's little shoulders.
Well, they have the torture droid in this one kind of at that role. It comes in at some different moments and has character that's a little quite different than C-3PO, but
I'm in serious need of him in minifigure form, in Lego form.
I agree.
I need him.
We need
That and Black Chrysanthemum.
Yes, him too.
There's leaks out that the Caminos are going to be part of a Lego set.
Really?
Up. Yep.
Great.
Ah.
Their planet got destroyed.
When now or whatever. All right, so we're talking about.
So where you at? Okay,
Grogu,
so we got Grogu.
Kelly. We get the terrible name joke also from her.
Yes, I love that. That is a great meta joke because no one likes his name. It's a terrible name.
Oh, I immediately thought of Mel when she said that. I was like, oh, look, somebody that can relate with Mel.
Yeah, Grogu, terrible name. I mean, what
oh,
the
you
hell were they thinking?
Okay.
That? Yeah.
You and Mel then.
Oh, I hate it. It's terrible. It's like there isn't even a Y. He needs a Y in his name because he's a yodeling. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, where do they come up with that? I have no idea, but it's above my pay grade.
Yoda-lorian.
Yeah, that was pretty hilarious. And then so she takes him and feeds him dung worms. Gross.
That's right.
Yes, here, have
likes
some.
all the slimy food.
Here's some worms that feed on poop. Now eat them. Gross. I mean, but he also he loves his frogs and his tadpoles, and he's yeah. And that was a great comedy break, as it were. And then you don't see, and they have immediately flashed to.
There he is. He spoke him into being Mel's here.
Come on, Mel. bring the lug on. Get a camera. Get your lug involved here.
So,
by the way, let's just as an aside, the major domo guy, the Twi'lek who is the negotiator, I think he's a very interesting character. He's actually kind of funny. I appreciated his, because he had a lot of dialogue compared to everybody else. Because all the dialogue in this episode was blaster fire.
True.
all right. So next in the storyline, they kind of talk about waiting for basically splitting up into those zones and waiting for reinforcements and counting on the truce between those three family tribes working. And yeah, it doesn't take too long before that backfires on them. We get some shots of the city. Drash and Scat are biking along here in the worker district, and they're
Vespa gang.
The Vespa gang.
The Vespa gang.
I don't really see them holding off a whole. I'm not going to call it an army, but
man, they were good shots. I got to give it to them. They were good shots.
I don't want to talk about who was a good shot and who wasn't a good shot in this episode. It was horrible. This was horrible. I mean, where did these people learn where did anyone learn to shoot? I mean, seriously, it's like all of the Pike Syndicate guys, one shot, they're down. Everybody else, they're missing. It's like the Pike Syndicate are stormtroopers with how good they shoot. Lucky for us, but I was actually looking at, Black Chrysanthemum took who knows how many blaster shots. The Rancor took, blaster shots from, not just blaster shots, but like blaster cannons from these new Scorpinek droids. I don't know. How effective are blasters?
Just force them off the cliff.
Or you can just force them off the cliff because the Gamorrean guards are a bunch of wussies.
Yeah, but look how many there were. They actually put up a good fight, I thought.
Yeah, whatever. There were like 6 of them. Come on,
no, there wasn't. There was more than that.
No. Oh, okay. All right. There were 8 of them.
Fine.
I mean, Gamorrean guard. Come on. I like picture Gamorrean guards. These just insane, fat, muscular bouncer guys that could just like take on 3-4 at a time. But no,
they were never like that. They
never were. No, that's true.
They were bantha fodder.
They were bantha fodder.
They actually beefed them up a lot for this season.
Kinda, yeah.
For this show, in my opinion.
But I think they were meant to be bigger, like bouncer guys. They just never. They had no capability whatsoever.
Yeah.
All right. So can we talk about Cad Bane for a minute?
Sure.
Rest in peace. I'm really sad.
He did go a little too soon. He went too soon.
He did. And when you take out a character like that, you don't do it so meekly. I mean, they did not do him justice, in my opinion.
He has lived a long life, though. He was around.
Yeah, he is an old man, and
he had a good run. He did have a good run in the Clone Wars. And
he did. And he bested Boba in this fight. He like shot him in the chinks between his armor. But he got cocky, and Boba had a gaffy stick. I don't know. It was.
What do you think about? Because before we get to that one, we have 2 showdowns. He goes and confronts him at the sanctuary and just talks to him about, No,
that's a very good point. Because Fennec Shan talks him down. If it wasn't for her, it could have been a different outcome.
Yeah.
Because Cad Bane, that was his plan. His plan was to go and goad Boba out of his hole and lure him into a showdown. But Fennec Shand was like, okay, I'm a smarter assassin, which she is, in my opinion. You know, Boba Fett is a bounty hunter. Fennec Shand is an assassin. It's a fine line, but I think there's a difference, and you know it at the end of the show that that's what her specialty is. But she's very smart, and she reasons with him and gets him to change his mind.
She's kind of she's actually more of like the thread of the whole story also. If she were to take over the throne, like because another outcome I think could have been Boba Fett dies and Cad Bane wins, and then Fennec could take over reluctantly, or kind of to her advantage, because she's had all the good ideas, I think.
I think that would really piss everybody off if that happened.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I really don't know what they wanted to do with Boba Fett. Cad Bane was really alluding to this, you're a cold-blooded killer guy, and when he's about to get it, he reiterates that and confirms that, and Boba Fett kills him in a cold-blooded fashion, but that was just kind of like, yeah, I'm done with you. I'm going to I need to get rid of you. It wasn't so much Boba Fett is a cold-blooded killer. I don't know. I think that I'm upset that Cad Bane met his end in this episode. Cad Bane is the Joker to this series. He needs to continue. He needs to survive. He's the Joker. He's the bad guy that you love to hate. I mean, as much as Darth Vader, or I'm trying to think. You look at all the villains in Star Wars. Darth Vader, number one. I mean, he's just he's that in depth of a character that you love to hate, because there's a little bit of redemption in him. Unlike like the Emperor, who's just, it's easy to love plain evil. Cad Bane is a bounty hunter. He's not necessarily evil. He's just he's an opportunist. He's a bad guy with no morals, and he's an opportunist. He's a bounty hunter.
Yeah.
He'll do whatever he needs to do to survive and make money and do his thing. And it just sucked that he's gone, because he was like the best. I think he was the best bounty hunter. He's better than Boba Fett, because we don't even know all that much about Boba Fett as much as we know about Cad Bane based on Clone Wars and all that. Cad Bane he's a badass. He could go up against anybody. He could go up against Jedi. I mean, he was a formidable adversary.
He almost took Obi-Wan.
He did. I was just watching a clip of when he was against Obi-Wan and the one other Jedi guy that was like he was like a Native American Jedi guy. I forget what his name was, but he was kind of a badass too. And he took on both of them, and he held his own. He ended up having to escape, but that doesn't mean he sucks.
Right.
Like General Grievous. General Grievous sucks. He always escaped. He was like a weasel. Cad Bane was not a weasel. Cad Bane held his own. He was a smart guy. He knew how to anticipate and coordinate attacks, and he would be a great adversary to a Batman type person who is anticipating all the bad guys' moves like Batman. That's Batman's forte. He is 4 steps ahead of you, 5 steps ahead of you. And Cad Bane was a great counter to that kind of a character. So I didn't want to see him go. Tear. Cheers to Cad Bane. Rest in peace. Damn it.
Dang it.
I seriously, going back to who's in the back of the tank at the end, I thought it was Cad Bane in the back of the tank. I seriously thought it was Cad Bane in the back of the tank.
No way.
No, that's what I thought. Because at first I'm like, okay, he told Black Chrysanthemum he was going to save the back of the tank for him, but you saw him at the end, and you're like, oh, he's fine. even though he could use it because he took like freaking 30 blaster fires. I mean, at one point he's like walking and his foot was disconnected. I mean, he's like dragging his foot along. I'm like, yeah, the guy got beat up. He's a tough Wookiee, but it was, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I figured that Cobb was being taken care of back in Freetown by his people with some bandages and some smelling
we
salts.
knew he was going to live.
Yeah, we knew he was going to live, but I didn't know he was going to need a back tank and a bionic arm now. So,
right. What's up, dude, Jude?
Jude, welcome.
We got a lot of bounty hunters. We wanted maybe more. We got a lot though. It would have been good to see Bosk or Drungar or all kinds of other bounty hunters. Could have been a lot of side stories with the bounty hunters that he used to run circles around. But
so this is why I say season 2 could be leagues above this one, because
you think there's going to be a season 2 of Boba Fett?
I think so.
Oh, yeah.
Well, at the end he said he wasn't even sure if he would be the right person for that job now. Did you catch that?
Mm-hmm. I did.
So now they're already backtracking on making him become a bounty hunter again. So that was my whole thing.
He said we to Fennec Shan.
Right.
Those two.
Yeah.
And I agree. I totally agree. They're not leaders of a community.
No.
They're freelancers.
Right. So if they go back to that, I think it'll make people a lot happier, but I don't know. The damage is probably done for a lot of fans, a lot of hardcore fans out there. I don't really care that much, but I could see how other people would be upset.
Well, let's tear into some more plot divisive scenes.
We haven't even talked about Scorpionic droids.
We haven't even got there yet.
Scorpion droid.
This guy does the classic, diplomatic move and gets, trapped out there on his own with, a funny message from Boba Fett. I give you nothing. I kind of like that part. And
yeah, that was pretty good. Although as a negotiator, I would have reviewed those notes before going out in front of the guys with the guns.
He's asking for it.
I think he was a little nervous to begin with.
I think so.
Yeah, regardless, we'll get a nice scene, tandem jetpack attack.
Mm-hmm.
That looked good. Finally, this is kind of
finally they
use
the jetpacks.
I was not really liking. I mean, I liked when the X-wing showed up. I liked when Fennec rode off with a real speeder bike.
Mm-hmm.
And
I like Boba Fett's knee rockets. I mean,
yeah, those are cool.
It's the little things.
The Freetown hovercraft was a callback to some old OG trilogy stuff. I'm pretty sure
it was. I mean, they had one of those in A New Hope. It didn't look exactly the same, but it had that tri-engine thing on the back. But I thought that was like the equivalent of like driving up in a Humvee and getting behind it as cover and trying to beat off these fish heads.
There it is.
That didn't come out right. Fight off? Yeah, that's maybe
fish heads. Yeah, catfish heads.
Yeah.
There's the Pikes getting shot down in one shot here and there.
Yeah, those guys go down with one blaster shot.
I feel like for reinforcements, this barely a dozen guys show up.
Right? Yeah, I was a little bit. I'm like, really? Freetown sent like 17 guys. Really? That's it? And I was like trying to count the number of the mod guys that went down, and I think they started with about 8 and they ended up with 5 or something like that. That's not an army. I mean,
No, but they're all spread out until this part where they kind of come back together. The mod squad shows up, BK shows up. They fight off some pikes. Pikes are kind of falling back, and then
A few pikes.
yeah,
Where is the rest of them?
seriously.
Right,
There's
yeah,
like,
where's some battle like starships too, like coming in. Like this was their big plan. This is their secret weapon.
so those
Scorp-
those new Scorpionic droids, in my opinion, were totally weak. I thought that the original droidicas that they were based off of were way more badass than these things. They were slow, and their blaster fire wasn't all that impressive, to be honest.
That was one of the things I liked about the episode were those, but they were a different design. They couldn't roll, but they were larger, and I think they were more durable. They definitely seemed more durable.
They did seem more durable, but I'm like, they have these huge belt-fed guns that should be like, really rapid-fire blaster bolts. It should be like, and not just pew, pew, pew.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Cannons, I don't know.
They didn't ask me to design the show.
Well, yeah, after the second go through, I was okay with the order of things happening. But first time around, I wasn't buying it so much.
You and I are on the same page with that. I'm like, the first time through, I'm like,
Like,
it didn't make sense to me.
They were sitting on these huge cannons, and that wasn't like that should have been the front line. I thought.
Right.
I mean, they did kind of surprise assault them, so I guess there's that.
I did, however, like there was a bit of a callback to the HAL Cyclops eye in the middle.
Oh yeah.
Space Odyssey 2001: A Space Odyssey HAL eyeball.
Yep.
That was kind of cool. I'm guessing that was deliberate.
And we get this carriage scene with Peli on her droids coming in to save the day. I guess. And then they're like, turn back. Like, why do you run in? Like, did she not know a war was going on?
Yeah, how could
Right.
you not?
And why is Grogu covered up with a blanket?
Right.
They don't know he's a Jedi or he's a Padawan.
I got this little
They
guy.
still
right?
think
But
he's
that
a
doesn't
baby.
explain why he's covered up. I don't.
Because he's the baby. Got to protect the baby.
Yeah, whatever.
Well,
Yeah, put him in a car seat. You don't cover him up.
Yeah, it's like a little, little baby cart,
Yeah.
baby carriage.
So yeah, so let's talk about Grogu's actions in this, because we were talking about who's going to come in as the extra power, and we were talking a little bit last week about maybe Luke comes in, but no, it's Grogu. Which, by the way, big elephant in the room. He made his choice.
Right.
Grogu made his choice.
yeah.
He chose the mithril armor over the lightsaber.
Was there any doubt?
No, there wasn't.
Any
We
real
all,
doubt?
among us, we knew what that answer was. And so here he is, and the first thing he does is blow up the head of the tuk-tuk driver so that they can wipe out. And, I don't know. I think Grogu's actions in this one were a little odd.
Yeah. Well, when they had to give him more movement, and
Although I do like the NFL, fumble recovery that Mando does with Grogu.
Oh, yeah, that was
ground.
funny.
There's a slow-mo grab. That was cool.
well, before they crash, they have a nice little hug too.
Sure. And that's right after she says that the Force works in mysterious ways. And he, blows up the head of the droid.
So yeah, we all kind of knew. I mean, we've seen it happen with
Right.
what was the one-horned thing?
The Mudhorn.
Mudhorn
Yeah.
kind of saves the day there.
Well, so-
I thought he was
okay,
going to
so-
raise up the droids. I thought he was going to like lift them like 100 feet
Dude,
in the air.
I thought he was going to take the Scorpionic droid and lift it and just crush it, because he's like this really powerful, force sensitive baby Yoda. No, he like pulls a bolt out of its joint and cripples it, which works.
It worked.
He
It was
didn't
a good
finish his
bolt.
training. He didn't finish his training. yet.
He's had 50+ years, for crying out loud. Grogu is a mystery to me, and I like it. I'm just wondering I think he's going to be, I don't know. I can't wait to see what Grogu becomes. I hope he doesn't turn out to be a dick.
Well, he's not learning from Luke anymore.
Mm-mm.
Willie's here. Hey.
What's up, Willie?
Oh, hey, Willie.
What's up, y'all?
What's up? All right, do we need to start over for you?
No,
We're just getting to the good part.
I fell asleep and I just woke up.
Boba
Oh,
Fett
bless your
riding the Rank. We get Boba Fett riding the Rancor, and we get Mando trying to fight with the Darksaber, and Grogu doing some Force powers. I liked this battle scene. I guess they're trying to take these droids, these Scorpion droids out or whatever.
I liked that.
The Rancor did the most of it in the end. Pretty much, the Rancor
Yeah.
took both of them out.
That was definitely one of the best parts of the whole thing.
It was really I did like that. I had actually read some of the Star Wars Legend books when Princess Leia goes to the planet of the Rancors and learns about I think the planet was the witches of Dathomir,
Dathomir, yep.
and learns about the actual culture of the Rancor beasts, and it's actually pretty interesting. And I'm glad that we get to see a little bit more of that. I did not like when all the good guys were shooting at the Rancor monster at the end, and then of course Mando comes in and is like, "You're scaring it. Why do you shoot down it to begin with? Just leave him alone." The King Kong reference was. I mean, it was a little over the top, but whatever.
Again, that was going into the whole Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau playing with the Kinder figures, and they're like,
exactly.
"Oh, let's do King Kong on top of Mos Espa."
Yep.
Well, people with guns always got to shoot at everything. So
I know.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to mock right away. There's a little quick.
So many times in this episode are people shooting at things that have
Just
absolutely
playing with
zero
my
effect.
Rancor.
I would love to see how many blaster bolts they fired at the Scorpionic droids. It's like, okay, you shot at it once, it had no effect. Learn.
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
I would have really liked to have seen Ahsoka in this scene. I don't know.
Oh God.
'Cause she kind of
really?
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
She would have
Okay, let's talk about the
she
Darksaber.
would have found the weak spot, of the shield, and
Yep.
and the weak spot of their eye or whatever it was, and there was there's so trash dialogue otherwise, that didn't really help them fight any of these
Seriously.
characters.
I mean, how many times did they fire at the shields?
Right. I'm like, that's not working. So
I don't know how blasters work. Do you have a clip that has a certain number of blaster bolts in it, or is it just unlimited energy? They've never explained that in Star Wars. You just shoot the
it
thing
overheats.
forever?
So that's all I know. It just overheats, right?
Yeah,
it overheats if you shoot
yeah.
it too much.
Right. Yeah. Let's figure that out, shall we? Because there's enough of us nerds out there that want to know.
It makes perfect sense to me.
Whatever.
It's fantasy. You don't gotta explain anything.
I know.
I'm okay with
Pin particles ain't got to
Best car
explain
helmet.
shit.
Oh yeah, pin particles.
And Rancor taking a bite out of the helmet was all right.
That was good. That was good stuff.
I like how Mando tried to ride it, and it wasn't
Yeah,
good enough.
I noticed that when I watched the
Oh,
second
yeah.
time, I'm like, yeah, that Rancor was having nothing of him riding it. Okay,
That was a good detail, I thought.
It was, and I
Just
thought
because he
that
came
I kept expecting that Boba was going to come in and be like, okay, girl, settle down. You know, you're my pet. Let's easy, girl. Let's focus on the objective here. No, that didn't happen. Instead, we got Mando getting his helmet nod on, and then Grogu makes it go to sleep.
Oh,
Here, let's reenact it.
it's a baby Rancor and a baby Grogu, baby Yoda.
I love
We
the
can't see it,
design
so-
of Rancors.
Wait,
by the
I'm
way.
still positioning. There we go. Oh, I fell off. Hold on. Let me see. Wait a sec. There we go.
Do it. There you go.
Oh yeah, nice.
I didn't even know you could ride a Rancor. Is
Oh
this
yeah,
new?
it was
Is
in the
this new or
book.
has it always been?
They're semi-intelligent beings, actually, according to the Legend books, and they alluded to that when Danny Trejo brought the Rancor to Boba Fett, and he was talking about that. I still don't know how you get a Rancor from your palace to the battle in 5 minutes.
He took his starship. He took the starship.
Bullshit. Plot hole. Where's Doc? Where's Doc to point out all these plot holes?
You think
Sorry,
you think they're gonna ride all the way into Mos Espa on speeder bikes? Now that they have the starship, the Slave One.
No, he's got a. I mean, I don't know.
But I don't know if they could put the Rancor on the Slave One.
I don't think it fit.
I don't think there's enough room in there.
He could put him on a desert skiff or something. I don't know. All I know
I don't have
is
the
it took
UCS
like 5
version,
minutes.
but
Yeah,
Oh man, we're gonna see so many different.
You might could make a platform and then just kind of like tow him there.
I want to see like a hot air balloon or something, like a hot air balloon Rancor mod. I don't know.
Oh man, so many ideas. Well, my idea for the thumbnail was this one, so I just put Grogu, putting him to sleep.
I love how he just curls up and falls asleep next to him. That was cool. And I love the design of the Rancors.
we're gonna do it
That
right
was
now.
actually really well done by the Star Wars designers. I love their heads with their crazy,
There he is. Doc's watching.
There he is. What's up, Doc?
Okay, here we go. We're getting there. Hold on one sec.
Okay.
I need a black Sampson Lego figure and the Marvel Legend. Or
Oh yeah, I need a chrysanthemum minifig like yesterday.
Yeah. I was thinking we were going to see Dr. Aphra and all that stuff too, and apparently Firestar custom. There is a nice custom printed Dr. Aphra out there.
Oh, nice. Well, I have a feeling, and write this down. We may see Dr. Aphra in Ahsoka, because I think that Dr. Aphra is going to link up with Thrawn, Admiral Thrawn, because we're gonna see. I mark my word. We're gonna see him in Ahsoka, the Ahsoka suit.
Excuse me.
That's what I mean. If we saw Cad Bane, rest in peace.
Here he comes,
I'm still pissed.
coming into Mos Espa.
you better post that, Charles.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Post that on the Instagram.
You just take a screenshot.
There you go.
Nice. all of this
Problem
action,
solved.
all of this rancor, and I think we could have probably just skipped the whole thing, and Fennec comes in and, like, Batman style, assassinates all the leaders in
yeah,
one room,
that is a great
and it's
point.
over.
Fennec Shan, just mafia style, killed everybody, including the mayor. I loved it. I loved it. She garrote wired the mayor, which that was actually great.
If
Doc,
we do ever
yes,
get a
I
season
agree.
2, we need more of that in season 2.
Well, we need to
In season
explore
2,
Boba
I'd
Fett
like to
being
just
Boba
be
Fett,
more
not
Boba.
Boba Fett being, Jabba the Hutt or whatever.
They should have just called this The Mandalorian season 3. They had
It's the
enough.
Mandalorian
He's wearing
season
the armor.
2.5. Mm-hmm.
He's wearing a Mandalorian helmet, like,
Yeah.
So all is good in Mos Eisley again, and maybe we see these two sharing the throne or something. I don't know. I was hoping it would be one or the other, actually.
They need to have a baby.
I was really hoping.
Come
I was
on,
really hoping
let's
we
get
just
down, let's get funky.
What was it? What were you saying, Willie?
I was hoping that Omega was going to show up. Omega or one of the other clones or something.
Yeah.
That's what I was hoping.
It's really hard to bring in these characters like Ahsoka that were big characters pre-original trilogy and then introducing them because they were out there. I mean, like Ahsoka was out there during episodes 4, 5, and 6, but she wasn't actually created at that point.
But it would have been easy for somebody to come in and just start shooting. You don't know who it is, and you turn around and it's Rex.
Sure.
It's the same face. So he could have just played Rex. That would have been easy.
Yep. You can do that with him, but you can't do that with... I don't think you could do that with Omega.
Yeah,
But we can... You can always... I mean, with the sequel trilogy... Yeah, thank you, Doc. Yes. I think Sabine is a big character. I think we need to see a lot more of her, and I think we'll see her in The Mandalorian and Ahsoka. But
I want just as much Boba in Mandalorian as got Mandalorian in Boba.
There you go. Yeah.
Let's make it.
Just got to go back and do a whole episode and a half. Of what's
on that note, so how are they going? So the next show we're going to watch is Kenobi. And so we're going to go back in time and we're going to look at pre-A New Hope stuff. And so it's going to be interesting. Could we maybe see Cad Bane show up in Kenobi? Huh? Maybe.
Yeah, he'd still be alive then.
He's still alive. He's still out there. And I'm so mad that they killed him.
Yeah, they the more I think about it, they shouldn't have done that.
They should not have done that. And if they were going to do it, it should have been epic.
Yeah, it should have
been a Darth Vader death. I mean, it should have been something grandiose.
Yeah. Maybe he isn't. Maybe he isn't.
Well, I mean, they had a lot of lore on the Tusken Raiders and the Gaffy Stick, and that's how they took them out. That was the plan all along.
I do love the poetry of that whole thing, because Cad Bane's plan was to go to Boba Fett and reveal to him that it wasn't the biker gang, it was the syndicate that offed his family. Yet at the end, Cad Bane gets his just desserts by Gaffy Stick. The Tusken Raider weapon kills him after he wanted to use that as his weapon to bring Boba Fett
backfires.
Out. That's poetry. That is writing poetry. Well done.
Yeah.
Well, it is Star Wars. They're having fun with it at the end. We get the rat catcher. He's part of the gang now.
I know. I totally noticed that the second time around I watched it. Like, why is that damn droid in there? Standing next to Black Chrysanthemum. Come on, man.
It's like
Oh
totally
yeah,
part of the
that
gang.
thing.
It's totally
Freaking
part of the gang.
Black
There's the
Chrysanthemum,
gang
what
ball
a
there.
badass.
What about General Clevis? He should have been in there slicing
Clevis,
up
yep.
syndicates.
General Clevis.
Well, is this the end credits or no? This is before end.
That is a
credits.
pretty cool shot of that
Yeah,
ship.
like,
It's
if they're
it's growing
ending
on me.
so-
It's growing on me.
Yeah, me too. I didn't
But
first at
but-
all.
still though, how in the heck are you going to put bounties in there?
Yeah,
They can barely talk. It's like way up there, tapping on the glass.
Yeah.
Hey, push the button, push the button. I don't know.
Okay, that was pretty funny. That reminded me of the whole. No, I'm not going to give you the little ball off my gear shifter. Okay, fine. I'm going to give you the little ball off my gear shifter. It was very cute. It was very funny.
So
But
what,
yeah, that's not a bounty hunter's ship. Where's the kitchen? Where's the armory?
Right?
Where does he store his carbonite frozen bounties?
That's what I mean. Where do you store the carbonite?
Mm-hmm. You need a gunship, not a fighter. But it is kind of cool. It's like a Mustang in space.
Yeah.
There he is. So, I mean, end credits.
Oh, whatever,
are-
Doc. You weren't the first person to tell us that Cobb wasn't dead. We all knew it. You don't get
Yeah,
shot.
we knew that.
If you get shot in the shoulder in a movie, you're still alive. That's the
Yeah.
rules.
There he is.
We knew.
That's part 2 if they do it. Cobb Vanth will be back.
With a bionic arm.
There's a lot to going on. I don't see it for a while. They'll sit on it and maybe come back to it. I don't know. There are more bounty hunters. Yeah, so if they did this whole thing just to show Cad Bane, then
Well, that's what we were talking about, Doc. That if you might have missed it at the very end, where Boba Fett was basically saying, "I don't know if we're fit for this position." So they're already going backwards on even wanting to stay after all of that stuff that they went through, which is kind of silly, but
I don't know. The whole idea behind Boba Fett wanting to take over Jabba the Hutt's empire makes no sense to me. It does not make any sense to me, because again, he's a freelancer. You know, he's all. If you're a bounty hunter, you're all about the money. I mean that plain and simple. You're about the money. You know, Fennec Shan is all about the money. Cad Bane is all about the money. That's what bounty hunters are for. That's what they do. Why does he want to?
This whole season,
be, a guy that the town depends on to protect them?
well, that's what this whole season is about. That's what this whole season is about, and that's why people aren't on board with it, because they were expecting Boba Fett as a bounty hunter, when in reality, after he came out of that Sarlacc pit and joined the Tuskens, he's a completely different character.
Are you saying he was reborn?
He was reborn.
He was reborn, and then he stuck a lizard up his nose, and
Yeah.
and he's a whole different
I've
person
done that
now.
before.
Yeah.
So yeah, he
Okay,
he
so
went through
Doc,
some
you're right.
stuff.
Okay, Doc Sampson's right. Okay, we all should just bow to Doc Sampson. He's right.
I mean, I would
He's
have
an old
liked the
man.
bounty hunter show personally with everybody else, but that's not what we got. So
Right. Well, you know, actually, Doc, there's something to what you're saying. It's like, okay, you're too old to be a bounty hunter anymore. You know, he's walking around the town. You know, he's doing his little chest salute to people. He's like, oh, why is it got to be the right arm? Yeah, that's what old guys do.
But he did just go through
Jesse.
I like
You
how
and
Cad Bane called him out, saying, "Oh, you're soft. You've gotten soft in your old age." I was like,
Yeah, Cad Bane, you were.
and then they killed him off.
With a kid.
God dang it!
I'm with you, Troy. God, you can't.
But is he really, really dead, though?
That's what I'm saying. He might not
seemed
be.
really dead. He was lying there, not moving after getting a gaffy stick like in the chest. So, But you don't know. Alien anatomy. Maybe he just stuck him in the appendix and not his lungs. I don't know.
Good call on that. That's an
I want
idea.
Cad Bane back. I want him back.
I mean, they did all that prosthetic work.
Bring Cad Bane back.
They did all that prosthetic work just to show him in like what 5 minutes of the show. I don't think so.
Well, yeah, like you said, we have more Tatooine coming up with Obi-Wan, so we could definitely reuse them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see him again.
I honestly, because Willie, you're like, who was in the back of the tank? I was really, really hoping it was Cad Bane in the back of the tank.
I knew who was in the tank. I didn't get the reference to that other guy until I watched it again. Then I figured out who it was. I thought he was trying to sabotage it or something, but actually he's probably going to cut his arm off and give him a gun on him or something. So he was that guy that did the Infinity.
Whatever. It's just a show.
All right. I'm trying to read anything into that poster.
So we don't have a trailer for that yet, huh?
Guessing since they didn't do it today, maybe Super Bowl trailer teaser,
maybe,
and then later. I don't know that they would spend all that money on that, but you never know. But it is next, so more to come.
God, I really. Do we know who's? Is it going to be Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni behind this? And yes, Doc, that would be awesome if we get to see Jabba again. Because, I mean, Jabba was a force to be reckoned with. We just didn't get It's like he's like Boba Fett. We saw a very little bit of him, but he was a force to be reckoned with. Both of them were. I don't know.
We don't have any directors yet, so.
Well, I hope it's the same crew. I hope it's the same directors. Although Robert Rodriguez might need to step back and
probably
learn
too small for. Yeah, it's probably too small for. All right. Anything else, guys? I'm over Boba Fett.
You're already over Boba Fett. Oh my God! It just came out today, man.
I mean, I got Tatooine stuff out. I got to get my Mos Eisley cantina back from somebody, so I can have all.
Oh yeah, did you get that? Did they finally get that lighted for you?
No.
Oh.
It's been over there for like over a year, or two, or something crazy, ever since I got it. So today I'm like, yeah, with all this Boba Fett stuff, I kind of want it back.
Well, I've been regularly checking my local Costco to see if the child set is come down in price anymore. I think it's at like it's come down from $80 to $50, which is a pretty good deal. I'm just hoping that they can they're like, okay, we got to get rid of this inventory. We can get rid of them and get some nice, dark tan pieces. Buy like 3 or 4 of them and draft them out.
With who?
Yourself or your friends, whatever.
A lug.
We were talking about that in our lug. We're like, I was really trying to get people to get in on this, but
I would do it with you.
Maybe. Dude, seriously. All we need is like 4 or 5 people.
I would do it just between us if people were interested.
Okay. All right. If I can get 5 people to draft out that set, even if we're remote, I don't even care.
Yeah, I'll do it.
But the Costco's got a pretty good deal. At one point, they had them online for $40, and I was like totally trying to get my lug to bite on it, but they never did, and then the price came back up again. Yeah, Doc, that same thing happened at mine. Now all they got is the Bad Batch one, which is not a great set in my opinion, except for the minifigs. The ship itself is crap.
Isn't there a sand blue pieces in there?
There are a few, but it's a crap build.
Yeah, I haven't built it yet, so it's really small. I know that.
It's small. The cockpit is a sticker, and the big fin on the back has like studs on one side and anti-studs on the other. It's like, that's not how you do it. I vote thumbs down.
Yeah.
But yeah, parts strapped on Baby Yoda talk. We're doing
Let's do it.
Parts draft on Baby Yoda.
Not only do you get the dark tan, you get the sand green.
Yeah.
I got one. I'm sitting on one of one. But
Do you?
I mean, we built one, an actual set, but yeah, it would be nice to have those parts.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I haven't looked at the parts list to see what's on the inside. I'm pretty sure there's some kind of a Technic structure and some weird colors inside, but
Yeah.
whatever.
all right. Well, like
Cool,
Cad
man.
Bane
The
told,
book is closed on
The book is
of Boba
closed.
Fett.
Rest
Like
in
that,
peace,
yeah.
Cad Bane.
Cad Bane said to
Good show, Jesse.
Boba Fett, thought you were a killer. I'm going to kill this broadcast. So thanks for being part of the panel. And my attempt to do a Star Wars spoiler show.
We didn't get enough of this. We didn't get enough of this. Should have been at the end.
The fire spray? The fire spray or the
Yeah. Give us more.
Boba's
yeah.
Starfighter or the slave? What are we calling it? Slave one?
Slave one.
Go back to Slave One. Stop changing stuff around. All right. Thanks for anybody in the chat. Doc Sampson and Dude Jude and Iceberg was here in the beginning. So look for a video on Iceberg's channel. Me and Troy and Mel did a little teaser for the Spider-Verse collaboration as we get closer to going to that show in Portland, Bricks Cascade. And more Moon Knight maybe on the spoiler show next. I don't plan. I like having a break in between stuff. So this is, and then I don't know if Wednesday is. It was kind of rough for a while, but potentially we can do more Wednesdays if it's really hot on the day of, and we want to just talk about it the day of. There is something to that. So anyway.
Doc likes a Grogu name. Yeah, well. Not everybody.
No, he wants to kill it. He wants to kill it with the name, I think.
Kill the name, like they're joking about that. Yeah. Pelimoto can.
He needs a nickname. Grogu needs a nickname.
GG.
Whatever. I was trying to trend yodeling for a while, but nobody caught on to that. Yodeling. He's a yodeling.
I like Grogu better than
I like Yodalorian.
Yodalorian. I like it.
Mandalorian?
He's a Mandalorian now. He's not a Jedi. So He's a
foundling.
He's a Grogu-lorian. I don't know.
Technically, the Mandalorian isn't even a Mandalorian anymore.
Yeah, it's going to be weird as they draft all these other shows together. This was a side tangent, I think, an experiment. We got some cool characters out of it, and it's fun to talk to you guys about it. So thanks for being here.
You betcha.
And we'll see you guys maybe on Friday if you're around for Friday Night Bricks. I'll be on Hope Castle building. Who knows what?
Cool.
Yep.
Thank you, Jesse. Thank you, Willie. Thank you, Troy.
Thank you for the invite, guys. It was fun.
All right. Later.
Guys.